Hi everyone, it is Roland Cloutier, Global Chief Security Officer and Digital Enablement Executive. Welcome back to another episode in our series, Security Sparks, Insight for Pros, sponsored by New Era Technology. In today's episode, I'd like to cover ASM, or Attack Surface Management. It's an extremely important component of any security operation that helps reduce the threat of attacks and increase the ability to defend. Let's dive into why ASM is so critical. First, you can't defend what you can't see. If you don't understand the environment you're operating in and the threat surface you're defending, you won't be able to do your job. ASM gives you the capability to understand your environment and operate based on risk prioritization and environmental knowledge. Second, you can't possibly fix everything, so there have to be risk trade-offs. ASM gives you the opportunity to provide a risk-prioritized view to make good business decisions around those risk trade-offs. Third, understanding your attack surface gives you a big-picture view. It provides you with the understanding of the totality of the business you operate in, internally and externally. ASM gives perspective as part of your decision support criteria for making important cyber defensive operation decisions. And finally, it helps you answer the question, how do you know? ASM gives you the visibility necessary to articulate why you are taking certain actions to protect your organization. Now, what is attack surface management? Well, first, it's knowing what your threat surface is, what you have, where it is, and what it contains. Second, it's knowing the status of that threat surface. Is it secure? What are the controls protecting it? Who's responsible for responding to it? And what business owns it, etc. Third, it's knowing as best you can the threats you and your business face, considering this threat intelligence or maybe threat operations. It's the ability to understand what you have, who wants to do harm, and what you can do about it. Fourth, it's your ability to have a risk prioritization process. ASM gives you the transparency to make well-informed decisions around prioritization both tactically, strategically, and at an operational level. Fifth, it's having technological operational capabilities to reduce your risk profile by reducing the threat or reducing the surface that contains the threat. Now that we've covered the why and the what, let's talk about the process to get you there by layering in minimum viable capabilities to give you a broad ASM portfolio. Now, in my opinion, the first surface capability you have to have is visibility and assessment management. Now, I'm not going to preach on CMDBs, asset management platforms, or data center operation capabilities. What I'm saying here is that you better understand what is in your environment, both internally to your data centers and cloud environments, and externally hanging off your edges, connected through APIs or business process connections. The asset management component of this is important as well because it is going to tell you what business processes the asset belongs to, who owns it, where it operates, and other key information around its status. Next, you must have the ability to know the condition of your threat surface. This is where you are going to be implementing programs like Global Vulnerability Assurance that help you determine findability of issues within your environment. This program also needs to contain red teaming and pen testing that provides a realistic view of the capabilities you have to defend that environment and the impact of tools that your adversaries will be using. The final component of this service area should be automated path discovery. These are technologies that will tell you how you can be attacked, where you can be attacked, and the success rate both internally and externally. Your next capability area should be a threat intel program. By implementing a robust threat intel program, you can begin to know what your company looks like from the outside to your adversaries. You'll begin to collect and analyze what things are impacting your industry, competitors, adjacencies, and the technologies you use. It should also have the capability to understand what the public and dark web sentiment looks like against your company, so you can start considering over-the-horizon threats that you need to defend against. And finally, Your threat intel program should integrate with your risk programs to create visibility, factual measures, and reporting that crosses business boundaries. The last part of jumpstarting your ASM service delivery capabilities is to implement a dedicated program to address threat reduction actions that mitigate your threat surface risk in general. Through partnering with your peers in IT, engineering operations, product operations, and other parts of your technological business, you can create fast action-informed remediation programs to ensure that the business understands where we have flaws, why we have to reduce them, and at what speed we should be able to do that. And of course, a component of this threat reduction capability will be to create metrics and risk-based analytics to measure your program success. I hope this has sparked some ideas for you and your teams, and I look forward to the next in our series of Security Sparks, Insight for Pros.